Man, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this, guys. So the thing is, with every brutality you create politically, there needs to be a payoff. Okay, now we have to look at the deal they struck, because I believe what they've done is they've just funded shit to January, so they've kicked the can down the road past the holidays. Now, let me explain my thinking here, because I am profoundly disappointed with Chuck Schumer allowing this vote to happen. They obviously had the retiring and people who aren't up for re-election vote for the thing, and then Chuck voted no, right? Which is like, the way it went down is like piss poor leadership. However, my immediate thinking was like, I was mad at them. Fuck these guys, there's no spine. But then I started digging into my politicking bag, and I started asking myself this question. How do you think ruining the holidays would have benefited us? You know, I mean, do you think that really would have benefited us? I'm not sure. Now bear with me, guys, okay? Again, I don't know if this played into it, but so up until the election, holding out and causing this ruckus and everything being blamed on the Republicans was beneficial. They were using it to win the election, and it worked. The election came, and public opinion was all of this is on the Republicans. The election comes through, we win, right? Big win, everything. Okay, now, I don't know if you noticed this, but Trump and company gutted extra things in the government. They were canceling flights. They were reducing air traffic control. They were about to set up so these holidays were going to be the worst experience for people ever. We were going to finish the year with everybody just being pummeled in airports and nobody having Christmas money and just like a lot of gnarly shit. Now, you could say, well, that's great. Fuck the Republicans. But come January and February, there's nothing for us to win. There's no elections in January or February. The election is next November. Now, I don't know how this is ultimately going to play out, but ultimately, if we're going to have a like end-all be-all battle with the Republicans about the budget, about the shutdown or whatever, it really needs to happen in the summer, okay? Not in December, okay? I mean, it happening in, leading up to the election was beautiful, 2 months ago, right? But what would our options be? They would just leave the government shutdown, nobody gets paid, air travel goes to shit. And then, come January, February, there's no opportunity for political payoff, right? Now, the problem is people are going to get fucked over by the Obamacare shit. There's some people that are going to renew Obamacare that are getting fucked, but that possibly can be spun against the Republicans too. So, I mean, as much as I hate it and as much as I'm disappointed because I want to burn everything to the ground, I do sort of understand how letting it all burn to the ground right now wouldn't give the greatest political payoff, because whatever happens in the next 2 months, guys, is going to be forgotten by November. I mean, I personally believe that if they can kick it down the road until a couple months before the election and have another Republican shutdown situation as close to the election as possible would be beneficial. I mean, dude, it's bad. It's bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Dude, it's fucking bad. It was a complete caving. But again, if we can kick this down the road until next summer, I don't think that's a bad thing. The problem is are we going to make it cohesively to next summer? You know what I mean? Like, we were finally sort of gelling, okay? And now Schumer helped lose a whole bunch of goodwill. And so that's bothersome. But let's look at the deal here. Here we go. Here's the full details. So CR gets punted to January 30. So we're going to go through the holidays And then at the end of January, we're going to start up the potential shutdown thing again. Okay, there's a promise of a vote on the ACA in December. So all the senators are going on record. They're going to force the Republicans to vote no and be on the record about the health care. Okay, this is big. There's a minibus of bills. So now they can't lay people off and fire workers during a shutdown. That's a tiny victory. I'll give them that that's a tiny victory. So if they punt this down the road, Trump can't fire people and try to exacerbate it. So they did take away one of his sort of threatening tools. And then this is a big one. SNAP is funded through fiscal year 26. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Look. See, here's where I'm telling you there's strategy, guys. Because look at what happened right here. You see when the fiscal year of 26 ends, guys? September 30th, which means the SNAP shit we just went through, this is going to be a deal again next October, 1 month before the House elections. We're going to be right back where we were in October of this year. Now, this is actually a benefit. People are guaranteed that they have SNAP, but come next September, come next October, we're going to have the SNAP war again right before the election. That right there is a little bit of strategy, okay? That's kind of a little bit of win. You know, when I see this, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I mean, I know, guys. I know it's hard because on the one hand, there's like, well, the people, but the reality is with the political machine, whatever's going on here, they're doing to like, well, we're going to let people suffer, but we're not going to let people suffer too much unless we get a big political reward from it. So like what I see now is they're not going to let people suffer in December in the holidays because there's no payoff in January. So what they're going to do is they're going to let people enjoy the holidays. They're going to get a Senate vote on the ACA subsidies. And then they're going to be able to use that Senate vote because people are going to get hammered by it, right? People are going to get fucked, okay? People are going to get fucked on Obamacare. And then the Senate Republicans are going to say they're going to vote no after the people are getting fucked. I know it's hard to hear this, but if the Republicans said, we'll give you the ACA subsidies, there wouldn't be any reason to vote for Democrats next year, right? We almost don't want the Republicans to give us the subsidies because then we're not going to win the election, or potentially, right? What we want to do is we want people to get fucked, and we want the Republicans to be the reason why they got fucked. And then we're going to come in and save them from getting fucked, presumably, right? That's what you want for the win. And now some people are going to get fucked. And then in December, there's going to be a vote where the Republicans are going to vote to continue allowing people to get fucked. And then next September, SNAP is going to come up again right before the election. And I think it's still going to work out pretty well for the Democrats. And in fact, I think a bunch of progressives are going to benefit from this. I think Schumer caving, okay, Schumer being Schumer and being a piece of shit benefits progressives. I think they absolutely do. It just ruins the establishment vibes, increases the chances that he's going to get primaried and people calling for a change of leadership. And I think the other beneficiary of this, guys, Gavin Newsom, though, I'm telling you right now, dude, Gavin Newsom is the benefactor here, bro. I swear to you guys, I know this, whatever. I know a lot of people don't like Gavin Newsom, but I think Gavin Newsom is the biggest winner of the Chuck Schumer cave on the shutdown. He is going to be the biggest winner, dude. I'm telling you right now, he's going to ride this shit. And he's going to showcase his ability to fight and not give in and fucking fight back. And we're going to look back and see that he was the biggest benefactor of Schumer's inadequacy. It's possible that they're trying to kick this thing a little bit closer to the election to exploit it to take the House back. If I had to guess, if there was any strategy going on, that would be the thing that would be happening, if there's a strategy. Because ultimately, like I said, the shutdown battles are great, but they're better when there's a looming election where there's some type of political payoff for the chaos and the harm, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like if you ruin people's lives for 10 months straight, it's very unpredictable how they're going to react and who they're going to blame it on. But if you ruin their lives for a couple months, then you rescue them, then you ruin their lives for a couple months, then you rescue them, etc. You have much more control over the public opinion if you rescue them at some point before they get too demoralized, right? Because when people get overly demoralized, sometimes they behave in unpredictable ways. Now, again, though, I fucking don't like Schumer. I don't like the way they're doing this shit because it feels like they're just erasing whatever goodwill they had built up. You know, they had literally just built up some goodwill, okay? They built up some goodwill, and now they're like, we're playing the whole everybody hates everybody again fucking routine, you know? But you have to be careful, you know, trashing the holidays. And the thing that I saw that made me realize, this is going to get interesting was what they were doing with the airports. Like, I don't know if you noticed the news, but basically what was happening was the Trump administration was just notifying airports that, like, you have to cancel a bunch of flights. Like, they were setting it up to wreak havoc on people traveling for the holidays. And that was going to become a political football that, like, there's really no way to tell who was going to be left holding the bag. And when I saw that, I was like, fuck, bro, this is going to get interesting. And then, of course, they were threatening, you know, the getting rid of the filibuster. And I didn't think they wanted to do that. But, you know, the Democrats, I guess, maybe they were a little worried that they were going to cash in the filibuster and pass the SAVE Act and try to cram a whole bunch of nightmare legislation down. You know, I mean, they're getting pretty desperate, the Republicans are. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.